Hello everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of the Trading Bootcamp series. In this episode we will be looking at the 10 a.m. AMD / Power 3 model. Now we won't be looking into specifics, we will just look at this model that I have, this one and this one, that I take two trades that I take from this one and this one, and I also have some examples right here. Now this will just be the introduction. What does that mean? That means that I'm just going to show off my model, how it is, and how you can catch these things, but I will not go into any specifics, such as how to identify the accumulation, the manipulation, and the distribution. That will be in another future episode, which I believe, let me look at my notes. That will be in episode number 10, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be in episode number 10. So yeah, stay tuned for that, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and then you'll see when I post that. So let's start things off. So this is one of the most commonly traded Power 3 models. This is called the Classic Power 3. I don't know if that's named. I don't know if that's how it's named, but that's how I name, because the Classic and the Power 3 model that I use to trade, and I still used to trade, but now I prefer this one. Now, this one, why is it the most famous? Because this happens every single time in the markets. There is no exception. It happens in any session, in any pair, anything. This Power 3 and this one happens. Now, what is exactly the Power 3? This, as you can see right here. Power 3 stands for accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Now, my model is called the 10 a.m. AMD model. Why is it called AMD? AMD stands for accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Right? Now, why is it 10 a.m.? Because I trade, as you can see right here, US 100. This is basically NQ, right? NQ is futures. Therefore, at 9:30, at 2:30 p.m. for people who are in Portugal, just like me, it opens at 2:30. But for regular people, this opens at 9:30, right? So now, as you can see right here, the manipulation, which is this red box, goes to a 15-minute fair value gap. Right, this 15-minute fair value gap is the fair value gap formed from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Therefore, you can see why it's called 10 a.m. because you got to let those 30 minutes pass out so it can create the fair value gap. So then you can use it to trade. You see? So that's basically it. Now, it's AMD / Power 3 because I trade the Power 3 with the 10 a.m. AMD. It's just 10 a.m. Power 3. I just like to call it AMD because it's more strict to it. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now, let's look at this one. So you got the accumulation, the manipulation to the 15-minute created by early New York, which is from 9:30 to 10 a.m. You have this 15-minute fair value gap, and then where do you exactly enter? In this red circle, as you can see right here. So now I have two confluences for my trade, two confirmations for my trade. First off is the 1-minute inversion fair value gap. So I take my entries on the 1-minute time frame. I'll mark out the fair value gaps and all the liquidity points in the 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, even. That's where I target my TP, my take profits. I like to target high time frame liquidity, high resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity, daily imbalances, and all of that stuff can be seen by my previous videos on fair value gaps and liquidity. So I recommend you doing that. So what is this? So you got the accumulation, the manipulation, and then you got these two confirmations. The first one, as I mentioned, is the 1-minute inversion. Therefore, you got a series of candles, and then one candle that inverses a gap. Now, that is not enough. Back when I was first developing this strategy, when I was first learning about the strategy, I was just taking the trades off of the 1-minute inversion. What did that let me? That led me to low probability trades. Why? Because 1-minute inversion for value gaps doesn't mean anything, basically, because you're basically bottom or top ticking the whole move. And although it may be profitable, it's way riskier and way unlikely to happen. Therefore, what do I wait for? I wait for this beautiful confirmation, which is the best confirmation and the confirmation that I like the most. It's a change in instant delivery when you have a candle body closure above or below the candle body that formed the high or the low. You can check out on my video from the changes in state delivery. Now, where do I enter? So I have, as you can see, I entered from this circle, but I have one thing. I am usually an aggressive player. What does that mean? I usually like to take market orders. That's called being aggressive. But when the change in the state of delivery is way too high, for example, if the candle body closes like this, way too high, of course I'm not going to take an entry like so, like this. It's not going to happen. My stop loss is going to be huge. So what do? I wait for that move to touch what is called a change in the state of delivery zone, which is, as you can see right here, all underneath this change in the state of delivery is called a change in the state of delivery zone. This also is a confluence, is a confirmation that the trade is 100% valid, because price normally and 100% wants to retest this area. Now, this is an exception. On Friday, I wanted to take from the change in state of delivery zone. It did not happen. I did not get tapped, and my TP got hit, and I lost a 1-4 risk to reward trade. But that's not what it matters, because trade is probability. Trading is probability, and when you have the best odds, you normally are less likely to get tapped. Therefore, the perfect A+++ setup, the best setup that you can have for the Power 3 is not this one. Is this one. But yeah, if you're just trading this one, this is the most powerful one. Now, what do I like to do? Since I'm an aggressive player, so sorry, I haven't mentioned this. When this moves up like this, I set up limits right here on the change in state delivery zone to get tapped and then get filled to ride on my take profit. Now, if my take profit gets hit without me getting filled, I leave and I close limits. Just that simple. Now, if the change in state delivery happens like this, the body just closed a little above, I'm aggressive, because as you can see from this, let me change this a little bit so it's kind of, all right. So as you can see right here, so if I enter aggressive from this example, it's going to be a 1-2, right? Or a 2-1 risk to reward ratio. Now, if I set limits, it's going to be a 2.18. 2.18 to 1 risk reward ratio. Therefore, I'm only making not that much money. So I just prefer to enter aggressive because, I just like to be an aggressive player, as I mentioned. Now, this is the godly setup. Why? This is the best thing that you can have, basically. So it's the same thing, accumulation, manipulation to the 15-minute, but this is a name that I call. It's kind of funny, but I don't know if I created this, but at least the name I know I created. It's called the Jewish fake out. This is kind of dumb. So as you can see, you got the manipulation, and then this whole move up. Let me actually mark this. Wait, let me mark this in a circle, which is actually better for you to see. Sorry, right there. This whole move. This whole up move from the manipulation, so you got the manipulation and then you get this whole impulsive move up, and then traders get easily trapped in this, because you may even get a change in the state of delivery and an inversion right here, but that doesn't mean anything if we have 5-minute liquidity below or above. What does that mean? So price on the 15-minute time frame to form the fair value gaps, and normally if you go onto the 15-minute, you mark out the fair value gap, all good, all things done. And then if you go on the 5-minute, you may have wicks that are inside of the own fair value gap. Now, if the original manipulation did not take those wicks from the 5-minute, then you will not enter a trade. You will wait for the Jewish fake out to happen. You don't care if it has a change in state of delivery and an inversion from this Jewish fake out, because, as I mentioned, is a fake out, and you're going to wait for that 5-minute liquidity, especially if it's a wick. You want to wait for that thing to get swept, and then you got the same entry model, which is the 1-minute inversion and change in state of delivery, tapped and right up to the highs or the lows. It's that simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And this part is where most traders actually lose money. This part was actually my worries, basically, because I was entering on this setup, and sometimes I lost trades, and I was like, damn, why is this happening? And then I looked back, and when I actually reviewed it, I lost a trade because I got wicked out, and then it actually right up to my TP. So, it's just basic knowledge. If you have 5-minute liquidity below, you wait for that sweep to happen. Independently, if you have the change and the inversion, you wait, you stay patient, you wait, and then you get tapped. Otherwise, if this doesn't happen, if you don't get this manipulation, so if this is not a Jewish fake out, it's just a continuation, that is just probability, right? Because you want to take the highest probability, and if you get this as being the impulse, so if you get this as being the whole impulsive move, then you don't care. You're not going to change your strategy because of that, because that is probability, as I mentioned. Now, if you don't have any 5-minute liquidity, or price has already swept the liquidity from the original manipulation, for example, you get the 5-minute liquidity sweep from the manipulation. Let me actually change this, sorry. So, for example, from the original manipulation, if you got 5-minute liquidity, price swept from the original manipulation, you have the inversion and a change, you can enter perfectly because it fully completes the strategy. Now, let's look into some examples. So I have here some screenshots, actually. So let's see if you guys can understand. I will give you some seconds to analyze, and then just say it out loud. Yeah, I'm going to interact with you in this video. Just say it out loud what you think happened. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you got this accumulation, as you can see right here. This is trendline accumulation. As I said, I won't get into any specifics of the accumulation. You have the manipulation, but as you can see from this example, you don't have any 5-minute liquidity below. You don't have any 5-minute liquidity below because it's not marked. Therefore, you're going to take the first power 3 trade that I mentioned. The first power 3 setup that I mentioned, which is this one. Because this 5-minute liquidity is either way below the fair value gap or is just not present. Sometimes that happens as well. Now, you got the manipulation, you got the inversion fair value gap, changing the state of delivery, and then you're going to target buy-side liquidity. I'm not going to talk about TPs, that's for the continuation video. Let's look at another example. Sorry, it's not that one. From here. So you can see right here, you have the 5-minute sweep. So what is this? Accumulation, manipulation, a little bit of a Jewish fake out, as you can see from this. Jewish fake out, this will not intervene in any way. You got the manipulation towards the 15-minute, sweep of the 5-minute, and as you can see, it works like butter. You get that sweep, it inverses, you get the inversion for value gap right there from this candle closure, but you are not entering off of this single candle closure. You want one more confirmation, which is the beautiful change in state delivery. You wait, you set limits, or you could just market aggressive, as I will do right here, because I mean, this risk to reward is not going to change anything. Therefore, I'm not losing on anything, and boom, you get tapped. It's that easy. Now let's look at this one. This one does not have the 5-minute sweep, but it does have the original setup. This looks like the other one, but it's not. Trendline accumulation, and then manipulation, 1-minute inversion, change in the state of delivery. And as you can see right here, what happened? So this change in the state of delivery, the candle was way too up here. So as you can see from this example, I took limits from this. I don't know this. Why is this like this? I mean, I got filled right here, not right here. It's weird. So the change in the state of delivery candle was way too above. Therefore, I was going to lose on risk reward, which is not anything I like. Therefore, I'm setting limits on the change in the state of delivery zone. And what do you get? Like, it's magic. I'm telling you, this works. Please trust me. Like, zero drawdown. You get tapped into the change in the state of delivery zone, which is one of the most reliable zones that you can get in the power of 3. It's not the 1-minute inversion retest. It's actually the change in the state of delivery zone retest that is the most powerful. And then boom, you target the accumulation size. So it's that simple and it's that good. This is the power of 3. Have a blessed night, y'all.